Welcome and welcome back to the Light Renegades. My name is Star. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. I didn't expect to be making a video today, but Teams of Light just said sit and share. So I really wanted to just express what has been happening to me behind the scenes, because I think it might help some of you put some aspects of your life and soul's expression into perspective. And I want to start by saying that there has been a lot that has been happening energetically, and we've all been feeling it. And there is this strong, I think, dualistic expression that is happening right now. And this idea of that everything is moving so fast energetically, but somewhere I've been having to be moving really slowly and making sure that I'm not missing anything. And this idea of having to face myself, having to face my past is being brought to the forefront of my expression. I feel like I'm being put in situations and scenarios where I can't ignore that which has happened in my life. I'm really being put in situations where I'm having to face myself and previous aspects of my life that I'm now having to say goodbye to. And it's been really surreal for me because there's been certain expressions that I think I genuinely thought that I would never have to say goodbye to. And there's certain aspects of myself that I've been literally feeling slipping away from me. And I've said this expression before, and I think unless you've kind of gone through this understanding, it feels completely chaotic and just a real strange sensation to say. But I've literally been feeling like I've been dying over and over again over the past couple of weeks, and this is different aspects of myself slipping away so that new aspects of my soul signature can step forward. So there's been what felt like a massive pressure cooker of energy happening in one aspect of, I guess, my understanding, and then there's just complete void of energy that I've just been having to glide through, whilst I guess other spaces of points of contention and chaos have been slipping in here and there. And I've been literally feeling the tendrils of expressions of the past and past chaos like really being brought to the forefront of my attention. And I've been feeling like this hasn't been coming from my teams of life or my soul's expression. So I've been really starting to see where other energies, where other aspects of, I guess, other spaces out there have been really trying to infiltrate in my energy, and me just seeing it really clearly and understanding that I don't have to tip into that expression of emotion. And I want to say that for the entirety of my life, I've just been a very chaotic person when it came to my emotions. One, I was incredibly sensitive and told to repress that. So there was a lot within me that was just churning. And I guess somewhere being really detrimental to me and being really poisonous to myself somewhere. And over the past few years through my ascension process, I've been working through those aspects of those repressed emotions, and I'm starting to see now where there was a constant expression of the outside world trying to infiltrate what my soul's signature is always and constantly stepping towards. So I want to say that if you've been feeling like there is a pressure cooker of energy around you, just let yourself surrender to that pressure cooker and don't hold on to anything too tightly, because it's almost like the mental mind tries to hold on to all of this energy that is just wanting to move freely through us. But also, if we are not allowing for energy to move freely through us, that's when we get to notice and understand the aspects of self that are still trying to resist this ascension process, I guess, changing your energetic body, and also allowing for your mental mind to just be new. So I want to say that if you've been feeling into the chaos, just let the chaos be there, but don't let the mind get stuck in the chaos. This was something that I kept just butting my head against the wall time and time again with, and now I'm on the other side of it. I can see exactly what I was doing. So I hope that this is making sense, and please don't hesitate to reach out if you would like help in this space. But it feels like energy has come in, the body is ready to go through this ascension process. We came here, we were built for this. And then the mind likes to hold on to all of these different aspects. So don't listen to the mind, because I promise you it's always going to be lying to you. Allow for yourself to sink into your heart and trusting that knowing and just completely surrendering. There has been days where my mind is just saying so many different things to me, and I've just been thinking, I don't want to be holding on to any of the things what it's saying. One, those things are not very nice. And two, I don't feel like they're going to be helpful for my path moving forward. And something that I think so many aren't going to want to hear, but predominantly why I've stepped forward with this message today, is because we are now ready to be living differently. We are now ready to be putting down the aspects of, I want to say, spaces that we've been holding other people up. And we are now ready to step into our soul signature and what we came here to do. And specifically those that are watching this in real time. It feels like the pathways have now been set, and now you're just ready to be stepping into your new aspects of life, into your new aspects of energy. And sometimes this comes with, a lot of grief, a lot of teething pains too, when you're stepping into new versions of you. And, this is not necessarily you changing potentially that much, but it's just a different signature that we're having to attune to. So it feels like these massive potential energetic jumps that are happening. But I want to say, don't fear the person that you will become, because it's going to be the best version of you. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time for others to be able to recognize you again. And this is definitely something that I've had to face over and over again on my path. Friends and family just kind of looking at me sometimes a little bit strange, and then being like, something's different, but we're not quite sure why or what it is. And me knowing that, if they are supposed to be being in my life, they will start to attune to that too. And I think so many of the collective have just been terrified to step away from spaces and to give it room, because we're trying to cling on to things. And this was definitely something that I've been doing time and time again on this path. And it's been, to the utmost detriment to me. So I'm learning to just let things go that aren't supposed to be in my life anymore, and surrendering to the understanding of that it's okay. It's okay for things to change. It's okay for me to not hold on to everything and try and, contain everything that feels chaotic. I've just been letting the chaos come and not letting the mind overrule what my energetic body is going through. So I hope that this is making sense. Something that I've been saying to myself of late is that I surrender that which is not supposed to be in my life anymore, and really, really, really believing in my heart for that to be true. And this, an expression of my heart space that has opened up that I've never experienced before this lifetime. And this idea of what is meant for you will find you, and this idea of flow is something that I've finally been able to tap into, and I'm feeling it at my complete core. And this idea of that things come in a very smooth manner if they are supposed to be in your life. And this has definitely been something that I just wasn't listening to, because I was just drawn to the chaos constantly. That was how, I was created into this space. This is what my family dynamics were. So I was just seeking this chaos left, right, and center. And now that I've come into this new soul signature, I can see when situations and potentially other people are just bringing chaos to my situation and to myself. And, this is no disrespect to those other frequencies, potentially other people. It's just that you're on a different vibration now. So those spaces aren't going to align with you anymore. And whether this be chaos, whether this be, emotions that aren't balanced, whether this be our shadow within others that they need to work out for themselves, I've really just been throwing my hands up in the air and saying, that which isn't supposed to be in my life, I'm ready to let it go. And everything around me is shifting. And I'm starting to come to a space of just being in real acceptance of that, and trusting that wherever I'm being led is this next chapter of my life, and I get to say yes to that. And I realized that I was hindering so many others too by trying to hold on to situations, by trying to mold other people to be in the same space that I was being, not seeing that they are exactly where they are supposed to be. And we are all moving in our own time and in our own way, and we just have to let that be the truth. So I want to say, if things are shifting in your parameters right now of where you are living, what is going on, please just surrender to it and open up your heart space and just trust that whatever is happening, it's been here for a reason. And if you're going through, real deep and strong expressions of things being taken away from your life, or what feels like being taken away from your life, just trust that new things will be coming in that are going to fill that space with so much more love. And I want to say reciprocity, and just emotions that are here for your highest good. And I think sometimes we are just completely programmed to be clawing onto things that just aren't healthy for us. And this goes across the board. And I'm starting to see the spaces of where just on a daily basis, we're just on autopilot. And I've really been starting to go real slow within myself and the things that I'm partaking in, and also the things that I'm engaging in within self, and understanding the spaces that, okay, how do I feel after I've done X, Y, Z? What is my body sensing? What is my mind telling me? How do I feel after that? Is it something that is going to be conducive for where I want to be? And I'm just at a space now where I just want ultimate peace at all costs. And the way that I've been communing with the different realms has been in very, very different space to anything that I've experienced before, and even when communing in with the dark. And that's going to be a whole different expression, and something else that I'll bring out at a later date. But I guess just a snapshot on an overview is that I don't have to engage with a being or with an expression that I don't think is here for my highest good. And sometimes beings will step into my peripheral or step into my expression, and I will understand if they are of the same soul signature as me, because there are a lot of darker expressions out there, shadow aspects that are myself, that are just being brought back to me so that I can experience myself in a very different capacity. And this is something that I was missing on my path time and time again. And now I'm starting to see those spaces and start to understand those spaces, and that I can commune with them in a very different way. So this is the same for all of you. And this is definitely a threshold that I know so many are coming towards. So if you feel like things are chaotic in your space, if you feel like things are being stripped away from you, if you feel like you're in this complete void and it might just feel like you have nothing to hold on to right now, please just surrender to the process, because I promise you, trying to fight this expression is going to do nothing but hinder you and make you feel like you shouldn't be here anymore. I was fighting this pathway left, right, and center, and this is where I was getting stuck, rather than just surrendering to what was actually happening around me and believing that it was here for my highest good. So please be slow in where you are. Please make sure to be looking after yourself, and however that looks to you, and be fluid in that expression. There are some days where I just, leave everything out of my realms of what I consider to be healthy, and sometimes that's what you need in that moment. And then there's other days, past few weeks I've been real strict with myself and back onto a real strict schedule of what I've been doing and how I've been doing it. But then there'll be the day when it's just chaos and I can't listen to that because I just need something else. So please be fluid in your spaces. Don't be too rigid right now. And I think trying to be rigid and stick to one thing is going to hinder so many. And if you have a lot of information being brought to you, please make notes of them, because this is being downloaded to you and things that you might want to be partaking in the future. And this is an idea of that we are now moving into different territory where everything is lighter, I promise you. And this is going to sound like I'm not making any sense to some, because you've been focusing in on the chaos. I have stepped away from all media. I've not been listening to politics. It's been so far out of my realms of understanding. I can promise you, this is the lightest that I've ever felt. I know what is going on out there. I've heard, things through the grapevine. I've felt those energies, and I've just been sidestepping those energies, and you get to do that too. And this is something that we've been expressing over here on the Light Renegades and other spaces time and time again. There is this soul signature that they're trying to morph us into. This is this hive mind aspect. This is this fear tactics. I've been sidestepping this time and time again and just saying, it's not mine. I've learned those lessons. I'm not being pulled back into this space, and I can feel it, these tendrils trying to bring me into a frequency that I know in my heart space isn't mine. So when anyone steps forward and is trying to give me this, I just know it's not for me, and I know what to do now to say no. I'm not accepting that any longer. And so many of you in the collective really need to be sidestepping right now. Please stop watching the news. Please stop filling yourself with all of this negativity, because it's not helping, specifically now. And of course, we are here to be partaking in this aspect of, what do I want to say, understanding what is going on in the world, and also helping, create different spaces of life for others to be stepping into at future stages of this path. But right now, it feels like we're in a real crunch time to be aligning with our soul signature. So please, 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 just step away just for a little time, so that you can come back to your core, so that you can build now, so that you don't have more work to do in the future. And this is something that I just wasn't listening to time and time again. I kept fighting myself. I kept fighting my teams of light somewhere, because it was saying, just surrender to the process and trust in what we are giving you and what we are gifting you. I wanted things to be a very specific way, and they kept saying no, and I didn't understand it. It's because they could see from the upper room. Sometimes we have to be in, this 3D expression, this 4D expression. They are seeing, 12, 15D, 19D, whatever at this point. And I have to give them more grace to just be guiding me, because I know that they are here for my highest good. And I've gone through many, many, many changes with my teams of light, angels, otherwise, darker entities, all the other stuff. And right now, I'm just trusting that whatever's being brought to my path, if I feel it in my heart to be true, then I know that it's mine. And there were so many aspects that I was clinging to out of fear, that I was clinging to out of comfortability, that I was clinging to because I felt obligated to be in that space. And I've just been saying no time and time again, which has left me with so much empty space. And I promise you, it feels terrifying. Somewhere I feel absolutely terrified to have freed up all of this space and to just be at peace. It feels so chaotic to be at peace. I can't express to you, but I know that this is where I'm supposed to be, and this is something that my soul has been craving. I've given myself the grace of peace, and I ask that so many of you out in the collective, please, please, please hear these words and give yourself that grace too. Just be right now, just be with yourself and just commune with yourself as much as possible. Please get out in nature, specifically those that are in the northern hemisphere. We've got some beautiful weather, and I've just been communing with the trees. I've just been laying in the sun. I've just been allowing for myself to receive and knowing that I deserve that. So do not listen to what anyone else is saying around you. What is it that you want to be experiencing? And keep stepping towards that. Good of all Hampton, and I say, but I've really been having to comb through what makes me happy, really, really understanding that, and keep stepping towards that. And if people, spaces, anything is bringing you conflict, don't let that be the case. You can sidestep that. You can say no. You can say, I'm not partaking in this anymore. And you can just walk away. That was something that, I think I just haven't been given my grace and given myself the grace to do, is just to say, I dropped this weight, it's not mine. And I'm starting to do that, and it's given me the most amounts of peace. So if you would like help in your spaces, if you would like help from your teams of light, I feel like right now I've just become a vessel to be giving those that which they need to be hearing from their teams of light. So please do step forward if you've been feeling the calling, because now is crunch time. Now we are setting the foundations for the next times ahead, the future lifetimes ahead also. This is why it's so critical to be with yourself right now. Please hear my plea. I'm asking every single one of you to just detach right now and surrender to where you are. There has been so many monumental shifts in energy we just should be receiving, and whatever that looks like, there has been a lot of tears, there has been a lot of me just completely flat out with energy over the past couple of weeks, and I've just been having to trust the process. But now I'm starting to see where the chaos that was being brought to me just wasn't mine, and I get to let it go. And I think so many of you are going to be put into situations where you start to see those aspects in your life too, and where those two points of expression split. I think a couple of years ago, it's now more obvious than ever to me, and I'm just having to step towards that which I know is my soul signature now. So do not feel guilty in stepping towards that which you know is supposed to be for you, and just letting the things fall away, the people fall away that aren't here for your soul signature anymore. And I know that this comes with a lot of grief, with a lot of sadness. I'm not saying that it's easy, but you have to do this, not only for you but for those around you too. There is no we aren't helping each other if we are just clinging on to each other and not stepping into that which we know we are supposed to be experiencing this lifetime. And I think there's been a real layer of guilt that I felt stepping forward in what I know to be my life path, because I know that others aren't on that same vibration with me and aren't going to be coming with me, and that's been real difficult to sit with. But I know that I have to be doing what is best for me, and I give as much love as I can. There has been so much that has been pouring out of me, at the same time as sidestepping spaces that I know just aren't for me anymore. So please know that you are always going to be giving from a heart-centered space, even when you feel like you're being selfish. I feel like I'm being so selfish in some spaces right now, but I know that I'm having to do this for my highest good and for so many others around me as well. So please hear these words, please take that time for pause, please make sure that you're giving to yourself and staying as hydrated as possible. There's been a lot of energy I've really been having to allow for it to be flushing through me, and to be as mindful as I can be what I'm consuming across the board. So trust in that and give yourself the grace of movement. I've been dancing a lot more. I've just been allowing for my body to just do what it needs to do what it wants to do, while we have a lot of this chaotic energy coming in. And it's chaotic energy in a good way. It's high vibrational energy, but energies that we just haven't experienced yet this lifetime. So I'm grateful for where we are now. I know it feels like chaos. Believe me, I've been there. I've been on the floor. I've been crying. I've been screaming. I've been rolling around in the physical pain again. But it's here for our highest good. So listen to these words. Please watch this again. I hope that it's made sense somewhere. And I'm here for you is what I want to share. So please don't hesitate to reach out. But that's all for myself today. And Teams of Light, they're always with me, always guiding me in what to say. But I love you so much. And please do take care of you, specifically now. Take care.